Yes. Oh. Hey YouTube, you got me and Miss 5G to the LG to the Laura Whedon on with you guys. We are here doing Mommies and Money, and we got some good things coming our way. We just want to sit there and be able to hit you with why we have Mommies and Money and why we're on this campaign to help all mothers, including me. And I'm not a mother yet, but I am a MIT, which means Mommy in Training. I also, I have nieces, I have god babies. So this is also important information for me to know, because you never know if I want to sit there and maybe my uterus doesn't want to have a vacant anymore. They want to be like, you know what, let's just go ahead and just make that occupied. And then I guess they're asking you guys all these questions. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. Miss Laura Whedon, L-Dubs. Okay. What you got, girl? What you got?
Hey, everybody. Hey, YouTube. First things first, click and like our video and subscribe to us and check out all of our past videos. If you have not yet seen, if you have been following us thus far, welcome back. Good to see you.
Welcome back.
Definitely, if you want to join the conversation, you can register with us. Also, if you have any ideas of conversations that you want to have, topics of discussion that you really, really want to bring up, or things are just not being talked about, shoot us an email at wearephoenix17@gmail.com. That's wearephoenix, Phoenix 17@gmail.com.
2017. 2017.
Oh, it's 2017.
2017.
Oh, my bad. I wrote it down wrong. 2017 at gmail.com. Catch us every Thursday at 6:30. We will not be here next week, but the following week, we'll be back at 6:30. Catch our male counterparts, Fathers and Finances, on Tuesday evenings at 6:30, and Singles and Soaring on Saturday, fourth Saturday, right?
Fourth Saturday
of every month at 8 p.m. So now that we've taken care of that business, let's jump right into why we do Mommies and Money, what we're about. So our mission statement is simple. We are in pursuit of excellence and the breaking of generational, I can't talk today, curses by empowering women and mothers through financial education to ensure a better future. So we're here because we want you all to win financially. We want to break those financial curses that we've been perpetuating for so long. And we want you to have financial literacy. We want you to win. We want you to be debt free. We want you to be able to purchase those things that you really want to purchase, not just without having to save and save and save. We're just trying to break those chains of bondage when it comes to your finances. So again, join our conversation. This is a judgment-free zone here, and we really want to hear from you because your opinion matters. You matter, and we want to hear from you. So, did I get everything, Tanisha?
I think you got it. You get it. You got it. You hit the nail on the head. I got it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Loving it. You already know. I'm loving every second of it. And I know that we're going to talk about the whole Mommies and Money and the fact that we have the freedom to do that using our First Amendment. And there's a lot of us out there, especially in our community. We got the Black community, the Hispanic community, all communities in general, but to really just focus on the lack of education that's going on when it comes to finances in our community. Yeah. And now it seems to be the time for everyone to be able to get financially educated. I am a firm believer that you have to educate yourself and you have to apply that knowledge for you to sit there and move along into this world. You don't have to be super rich at first, but somebody can sit there and say hey, you can literally start off somewhere and 25 years later, you could be over here parlaying it up while everybody else is trying to catch up, or they didn't pay attention, or they kind of they slacked a little bit. And I say they slacked, they're I'm just gonna wait, take my time. Then when it's to that point, they're like, oh no, what I'm supposed to do? Oh my God, what happens? What's gonna happen to me? I have no idea. And that just gets, it's not, of course it's annoying. But, you know, and more in retrospect, I'm just saying as a Black woman, and, you know, Black women are doing it right now. We're doing big things. And I just want to make sure that we just have the education to make sure that we're doing everything properly. So that's why I'm really excited to be part of Mommies and Me. So that's just my little snippet, my little 2 cents, my little $2, my two half dollars, my two nickels.
If you guys have noticed, Tanisha and I are actually wearing our financial literacy campaign buttons because we are part of a campaign that teaches financial literacy, and we have workshops available to you that you can take advantage of. What are some of the workshops that we can get people connected to?
Let me tell you what we got. Okay, so you could be out there, you're maybe needing to learn how to increase your cash flow, which means that if you don't know how to budget correctly, or you never knew how to start a budget, or you just did way too much overspending, now you're sitting there thinking like, let me just figure this out. We have increasing your cash flow. We have debt management for everyone who's sitting there trying to get their credit back up to par, get out of debt, which is actually one of our 4 pillars that we actually have to make sure they just get out of debt faster. We also have building a stronger financial foundation, which a lot of us need to sit there and actually realize why you need to start off with a strong financial foundation. Proper protection. That's probably my favorite one, proper protection, besides the retirement. Wealth accumulation, retirement, and asset accumulation as well. So there's plenty of them, but there's a lot of things that kind of stuck out to me, and the protection part, because I've always remembered this, and I keep hearing it over and over again. So like, it's my favorite example, Laura. So I know I'm getting off track, but
you're fine.
So I was like, you know, if you if you bought a $425,000 house, why would you just get an insurance plan for $100,000?
Right.
You know, if you decide to, if you decided, hey, I'm gonna get that cute BMW there. I don't know what any of them called, with the M3s and stuff, like whatever it is, right? And it costs like $36,000, but you only got car insurance that only has liability up to $10,000. So if anything happens to you in that car, you only get $10,000 back. So you actually wasted money. You wasted money. So most people don't even know how to even calculate their debt correctly. And I will get to all that later. But
let's talk about that, because debt is such a huge part of just how we function as a society, period. Girl. You know, I mean, there's so many people in debt, and it just keeps getting worse. And then now we're dealing with inflation because of this coronavirus. You know, inflation is about to go up, and more people are going to start using more credit cards. More people are, you know what I mean? Like it's just on the incline of like rapid.
That stimulus check is going to stop at one point in time, people.
Exactly, like, at one point, and then and not only is it going to stop, you're going to owe your taxes. So. They're gonna get you somewhere. Trust and believe.
Somebody's gonna get you out there.
It's your taxes. Other taxes are gonna get raised. So people are gonna slowly but surely stay in debt or accumulate more debt. You know, so that to me is one thing that stands out about this campaign. I've always wanted to be debt free, and my father always told me, like, when it came to big purchases, like buying your car, like if you can't afford it 2 times over, then you can't afford that car. If you can't pay for it in cash, you can't afford it. And so I want to get to that place where I can double my money, but I want to get out of student loan debt, which is another thing that a lot of people in this country experience. Yes. And not only do we have debt with our loans, the price of tuition is going up, just like everything else. So it's like there's always something trying to take your money. So we want to be able to manage it, and we want to be able to stay debt free or get debt free. And I myself am proud to say that I am definitely working towards that. The only debt that I have is my student loans. So I think I'm moving in the right direction, and I can't wait to tell you all when I finally do pay it off. And I'll just say this, it's not a whole lot. I'm not like 30, 40, 50,000 plus in debt with my student loans. So I am like, it's slowly but surely coming down, but that goes along with budgeting and just being a good steward over what you do have. Like Tanisha said, you don't have to be rich right away. You can build, you can be smart with your money. Work smarter, not harder. So
right. And that's the thing when it comes down to it. Like we stress here when it comes down, like, and being on this campaign, you'll definitely we all understand you start somewhere. Some of us don't know where to start. That's when you have to what did Michael Jackson say? It's the man in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? You got to take a look. So you got to realize you got to start with yourself. So if you are the person who might think that I might be okay because, I'm trying to pay off my debt and I'm working on this plan, but you don't have the proper protection in place, right? Or you might have protection in place, but it may not be the right amount. So while you're sitting there dealing with everything else, if something happens to you, like you break down in the middle, you don't know if you might have living benefits. There's a lot that goes into that. And so even when it comes down to what kind of insurance do I have, some people think that they have whole life insurance and think that lasts their whole entire life. Well, unfortunately, it does not. That's not exactly what that means. Again, you learn that in the workshops that we offer. Just making sure you have a good plan. Make sure you talk to like somebody like me or Laura, Delete anyone on our team that can sit there and help you out, because calculating your dime is a major aspect of making sure that you, your family, and your future is actually gonna be okay, right? So I'm gonna
Can I just like intercede real fast, because you hit something that was very important. You had mentioned, right, let me just piggyback on that. You had mentioned that you may have something in place, but it may not be the right thing in place. So it's good that you may have started something, but what we're here to do is to show you what your other options are, and to open your eyes to the things that may be a better fit for you. And like she said, it's something, maybe you have, say, your insurance, but it's not enough. Right. Your life insurance policy may be only for 100,000 when you really need to have 450,000. So we want to be able to open your eyes and teach you how to, like you said, calculate that dime. What does that stand for?
DIME stands for, I don't know why I had a whole song, but DIME stands for debt, income, mortgage, and education. So I'm gonna have a whole. Let's just dive right on in, okay?
Actually, before you dive in, I just wanted to use myself as an example, because before I came to this campaign, by the way, I'm a massage therapist by trade. I absolutely love what I do. However, I know that basically, if I'm not working, I'm not making any money, right? And so I realized that there had to be more. But like Tanisha said, some people just don't know where to start. I know that you have to create passive income. You have to create residual income in order to build wealth. But like so many others, I didn't know where to start. I didn't know anything about how to manage my money other than to put my money in a savings and a checking account. That's one thing my parents did teach me. And as I became older, I became more frugal with my money. But at the same time, I didn't know about investments. I didn't know about policies and protecting myself, or how to really go about budgeting so that I can get out of debt. And so when I was fortunate enough to meet Tanisha.
Hi, that's me.
That's her. She cute. When I was fortunate enough to meet her, as she was showing me the campaign, as she was showing me the workshops, as she was we're just having a regular conversation. I mean, my eyes were open, and, by no means am I an expert. We are always learning. We are always growing and getting better. And so I'm still a student when it comes to this campaign, when it comes to learning about finances, because for whatever reason, finances just seem like a foreign language. And it probably is meant to be that way so that people don't know how to manage their money, so that you can forever be in debt, or forever have issues and be in poverty. So, I mean, I was very fortunate enough to be a part of this campaign, to be up under some major leaders like Tanisha, like our mentor Delitha, and like so many others, because we are really, really changing people's lives. And no matter how involved you get, there's so many gems that you can take away and apply to your personal life, just to make yourself be a part of this campaign. Or you can simply gain the information and change your own life. You know what I mean? And so I just wanted to kind of drop that on you guys, because that was my experience. That was my walk. And I know that with massage therapy, even though I love it, I know that there was more for me. And yes. I'm just really, really grateful for this campaign, for teaching me, for showing me. And like I said, there's still things that I don't know, but that's okay, because as long as you stay connected, you're going to grow.
Right. There you go,
Tanisha.
There you go.
You can take it from here.
She put that seed out there because she's like, I want to see my harvest at one point in time. So that's the goal. You know, like you sat there and said, I'm gonna have to just like intercede. Right. Intercede. You know, he said something that stuck out, you know, when he said, crap, I just had it too. This is live.
It's okay.
I just totally forgot what you just said it. Like, oh, when you like, not just like, you just never, the world of finances is like an unfamiliar language. Like it's a whole brand new, like it's literally like, what's that that app or that thing like that helps you learn other languages? Rosetta Stone.
Like Duolingo, or Duolingo or Rosetta Stone.
Right. So like, imagine we are the Rosetta Stone of the world of finance, right? So we're speaking a whole nother language that no one's probably ever brought to your attention. And the fact that they broke it down to you the way that we could break it down to you, or somebody did bring it to you and you were just like, I have time, I'll do it later. And that's where the mentality that's the procrastination. That's that mentality where you have to stop that. If you want to know more about something, if more people had took the time out to know more about financial education, and then no disrespect for anybody who does crypto, I mean, it is what it is. It's a big trend right now. But if you do a whole bunch of Forex and cryptocurrency and stuff like that, and you don't talk to somebody who's actually in the world of finances, like to help you out with this whole map that you have for like, I'm going to get like, you know, $50,000. It's going to be a matter of time. It's a matter. See, stocks. I look at stocks like that's a gamble. That's like me going to Vegas with $25,000. Okay. Like, and hoping I'm gonna come out with a huge profit. I'm gonna go to $25,000. I'm gonna see some shows. Okay, cool. I'm gonna give them like 18,000 away. And either I come up big or I come up short or I break even. Right. That's how I look at stocks. Like, you know, that's something it's an investment. It's my last thing I'm thinking about before I make sure that everything else in my house is correct. So when I say that, here, I'll show it to you guys so you guys hear it. Let me just here we go. Let me know if you can't see it. I hope you can. I'm thinking you can.
I can see it.
Thank you, Laura. See, that's why, ladies and gentlemen, that's why L Dubs is L Dubs. Okay. So when I say, like, you know, how to have a stronger financial foundation, okay, it says pretty blatantly in the first sentence, it's like building a house. You have to start from a solid financial foundation. You have to build it from the ground up, which means that, like I tell everybody, you can't start at the roof and think your house is going to be great. Not going to work out. Okay. Like, you can't sit there and be like, hey, I'm just going to do it, like build one side and then we'll worry about the front door and the windows last. Like, how does that work? Right. So you want to make sure you start with a strong foundation. So when we say strong foundation, that means like proper protection, as you see, is on the bottom. So protection, that means protecting what, people? That means protection for yourself, which is, you know, me, you, your mom, yourself. You're your biggest asset. You know, just making sure that if anything happens unforeseen, you don't know if like you might end up breaking down in the middle. You don't know if you might have that accident on the job and you can't work for 6 months or 8 months or 9 months, or COVID happens. You don't know, right? So you just gotta make sure you get that protection for your life. Also, like, your health. Your health is a big thing. Like, and the thing about it is people don't think about like, oh, they think life insurance is supposed to sit there and help you with health. But if literally life insurance is something that I feel like everyone needs to actually have. Everyone should have it. The pretty ironic thing about it is that you're mandated, like, car insurance, you're mandated, like you need health insurance or you get fined if you do your taxes. But life insurance is one of those things where we're like, either you get it or you don't. It's cool, no problem. And I feel like that's something you kind of need to have, at least as a basic, for making sure that your family and yourself is protected, and just in case unforeseen or premature death, and then disability. How do we know? Like, no one has a crystal ball. No one knows what's going to happen tomorrow. No one knows, right? I have a very good friend of mine that we literally went to elementary school together, middle school together, high school together. I've seen his child been born, he got married, and at the age of 36, gone earlier this year. Like, unforeseen. No one saw that. No one saw that happening. And that freaked me out, right? Because I'm 36 years old. And I'm like, so it can happen to him, it can happen to anyone. And I think a lot of people just kind of forget about it, because the worst part about it is I was actually doing something for him, getting a plan together for him. And I felt like I was too late because he kept putting me off. And that, like, and it's just, it still messes with me to this day. But at the same time, though, I know he's in a better place, and I just keep, say prayers for his family and his beautiful wife. And I'm hoping for the best. And I make sure I just reach out to her, see, make sure she's okay. And, people just forget, like, what is the protection piece? Like, yeah, they'll be like, I have life insurance on my job. That's cool. I'm so excited that you have life insurance on your job. Bravo. No problem. That's great. You probably don't know how much it is. You probably don't know what the payout looks like. You probably don't know if it's a decreasing term. You probably don't know, like, if you left the job, does it go with you? Usually it doesn't. So, little things of that, like little questions like that. Again, you find these all out in workshop as well, which are, complimentary for desperate, being in this campaign, World System Builder. We actually have complimentary workshops that actually goes through all of this. But the protection piece, without a strong foundation, everything else that's on this on these pillars, on this cake, on this pyramid, means nothing. If you're gone, who's going to worry about your debt? Your wife, your husband, maybe your kids. We don't know, right? Your emergency fund, where's it going to go to? Your investments that you talk big about, where are they going? So you got to protect the main. You got to protect the main frame. The main frame needs to be protected. This is you. So I tell people, like, that's a big thing, and we'll go into how we actually calculate that in just a little bit. But yes, like, start with the protection. Make sure that you are okay. Make sure you actually have that locks, like, signed, sealed, and delivered. Thank you, Stevie. That's what we're supposed to actually do, right? And then you can move into the debt management piece. The debt management piece, I mean, that just takes discipline on everyone's part. Doesn't matter. Like, it just takes discipline. No one starts sitting there saying, like, hey, I have like $1.5 million. What do I do with it? Right? I'm just saying, not many people have conversations like that. Right? So, and we both know, like, I mean, Laura, let's just be real. What was the last time someone walked up to you and was like, girl, I'm good. I got like $1.5 million. You're like, what?
Right.
Wait a minute. Like, so that this little things like that, but the debt management, that's just up to you. Like, you just sit down, you write all your write what you actually owe on your credit cards, on your car loan, on your mortgage. We can figure it out. We do a snowball effect. We can work it out. It's really something that's actually very easy. You can do a debt roll up for you. Figure out. Like I said, it just takes that one piece, that one key factor is discipline that comes down to that. And then we can work on the emergency fund, because now the fact that when you're cutting down the fat, and I say cutting down the fat because you're cutting down the debt. So you're cutting down the debt. Now you can sit there, put a little bit more into your emergency fund. Put a little bit more into your emergency fund. Now you can put some more into your plan, your protection plan, right? And then you can sit there and now you have room to grow, because technically, it says here have 3 to 6 months. But realistically, if COVID-19 hasn't taught you anything, 3 to 6 months ain't cutting it. So people out there, if I could ask, this is a good question, Laura. This is a really good question. You would sit there thinking like, okay, your cousin called you up, right? They're in Ohio. They're like, hey girl, we're about to have a family reunion. You're like, oh, word, we're about to go see some family members. I'm about to see your Nana. I'm about to go see my uncles, all of them, right? And then they're like, all right, well, just let me know what this is, the hotel, this is the plane fee, this is the food, whatever. Everything is lined up. They gave you like a number, and you're like, dang, I can't do that right now. It kind of like takes you back because you're sitting here like that's how you should know. Like, one, you're not making enough. Two, you're not budgeting yourself enough. Three, you probably don't know enough about your own financial foundation, and something's actually out of whack. So yeah, it's like a car. You gotta get your finances checked in too. So get yourself a checkup. Give yourself a checkup. At least give yourself a see if you can sit there and at least be able to figure out why you're missing something. Maybe you go to Kroger 19 times in a month. Maybe you overspend at the CVS. Like maybe you should have bought those shoes. But like whatever it is, we'll be able to figure out that plan because it all stacks on each other. So if you have everything from the protection piece, you're like, hey, Laura, I'm good. Let's rock this out. Cool, right? And let's just say, like, let's just put this out there. Like me and Laura got married. Hello. Okay. Me and Laura got married. Something happens to me and we have a joint bank account, right? Good thing that me and her are financially educated. So she knows I'm protected and I know she's protected. So if anything happened to me, she's good because I might still have a lot of debt. I may not have like a huge emergency fund, but I have something started, right? But that joint bank account that we started or that joint account that we have on a credit card or house or whatever, she's sitting there thinking like, oh, I'm good because we actually started a plan and this makes sense. I know what I'm about to get and I know I could be okay for this amount of time. While some people don't do that and they realize like, oh, well, my husband or, my ex, my girl or my whatever it is, they had a lot of debt and something happens to them and they think the debt just like
disappears right now.
Where's the SpongeBob effect that I need? Like, like where's the SpongeBob effect? Like, where does it go? It doesn't magically just go into thin air. It just goes to somebody that's next to kin. Next to kin, right? So now you're like, I took on this debt and what just happened? So yeah, we had to build that up. Then once you have your protection piece locked in, you're like, we're good. I'm like, hey Laura, how you doing, girl? You're like, hey boo, I'm good. We got protection piece, we locked that in. Our debt, we've already we're narrowing it down. We're paying off our debt. And we're making sure we're disciplined. We knocked out some of the stuff like the parlaying. We stopped going to football games. We only go to like the one main games of the year. Or whatever, we start doing little certain stuff, little habits that we realize we're just spending extra money on, and we're starting to build a nice little emergency fund on the side just in case anything actually happens. And then Laura's like, you know what? I'm going to invest in AMC. They're going to come back. And I'm like, Laura, they ain't going to come back. She's like, yeah, they're going to come back. I'm like, it's AMC. Where are they going to come back to? Like 2018? Like what's going to happen? And she's like, good point, but I still want to do it. So she's going to take that risk, but she could take that risk because she knows that she's locked everything else in. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to everyone out there in this world. Hope it does. If it doesn't, please feel free to, like Laura said in the beginning, wearephoenix2017 at gmail.com. I'm gladly will take any of your questions. My name is Tanisha Steiger. Right back at you. So yes, it does start off with the financial foundation. That's the first fact. That's the first step to making sure a lot of things you may not have to sit there and get right away. But let's just be realistic for 5 seconds. If you show somebody, which I think that me and Laura should do a segment like this one day, since the world's opening back up like a big flower in the sky. Just go out there and ask people like, do you know the 4 basic principles or 4 pillars of a financial foundation, and see how many people actually know exactly what it is.
And the crazy thing about all of what you just said, though, I mean, we're talking about those who may not make a whole lot, but people who make a lot of money still don't know how to manage their money. I talked to a doctor and they were not familiar with one of the tools that we use or utilize that's on the market right now as part of the protection piece. and this person makes good money. And you just can't assume that just because someone is financially stable that they have financial literacy. You can manage your money great. Like you can have you can make a good amount of money. You can put it in your savings. You can put it in an investment account and all of these other things. But there are other tools out there that will protect what you're working so hard to do.
Woo!
To have.
Say it one more time. She said the word protect. That's it. The protect part. It's the protect part. Go ahead, Laura. I was hallelujah.
Oh no, I mean I was done. I'm just saying,
Save
like it's so funny. I had a friend who, she's got some high ambitions, and that's great. But when it comes to like putting that money somewhere safe, oh, I'm just gonna put it in my checking and in my savings, girl. Like, there are other tools out there that will protect you and your money in the event of something happening, something crashing. Like the market. So, I mean, that information is out here, and that's why we have this platform, because we want to share it with you. We want you to make sure all the stuff that you're working so hard for, you keep, and then you get to pass it down. I mean, instead of passing down debt, you're passing down wealth.
You want to have certain things that no one's going to expect when the unexpected happens. Like exactly. You want to have that. I feel like that would be a great peace of mind to just know, like, hey, if something happened to me, like I have a will in place, I have a trust in place, let's just say, like, Mommies and Money and Fathers and Finance. We have this show, and we're doing filming all the time, and we're doing filming throughout the month, and we're going to get, like, hopefully we're going to get the spot, and we'll start working towards something like, as big as Ellen one day, as big as Oprah one day. So that we're going to start a S Corp. And then like Trevor is our brother on Fathers of Finance. He breaks all that down, and he is a wizard at it. So if you guys all you moms are out there, or ladies that are single looking for somebody to mingle with, Patrick is single on there, just by the way. So
oh, word.
Black on black on black.
Black on black on black.
I'm just putting all his business out there. I'm not sure if he's single.
I was like, wait a minute. When did that
I'm not sure if he's single. His girlfriend gonna kick me. She's gonna hurt me. But Laura's right though. Like you want to be able to pass down those things. To be able to pass them down and know you did it correctly. Like know you have no issues. Knowing that feeling that's inside, knowing that, like, you might be that first person in your family. Somebody might have started you off here, but they didn't do it. Like, they did it to a certain point, but they didn't finish it. And now you have a chance to finish it, or even be able to build it bigger than it actually is. So when it gets to time to your kids and your nieces, and they have something they can work on. Like they have something they don't have to even ask. They don't have to go to a bank. They don't even have to even work. Like, that's the type of generational wealth I'm trying to sit there and have our community realize. While they're out here shooting us, like, go ahead and start shooting back and move in silence. Go ahead and get some protection pieces for your children. Go ahead and get some protection pieces for your brother, your sister, your cousin, your mom, your dad, whatever. Because you never know. That one, like Master P, perfect example. Master P's grandfather passed away. Left him $10,000. It may not be a lot, but at $10,000, you know how much Master P is worth right now?
How much now?
Master P? Well, let's check this out.
I was gonna say, wait, do I need to Google search? Wait, let me grab my handy dandy.
Master P. We're doing this live because I want people to know what it is. And then $245 million.
Wow.
All because, like, and it's somebody, you may want to grieve, there's a lot of things, but, like, with that one thing that he realized is, like, building an empire is probably what made him want to keep going, and made him take that 10,000 and put it into something that he loves and he's passionate about, and push forward, or to push past your narrative. This man has, I don't even eat potato chips, but if you give me a bag of wrap snacks, I swear I'm going to tear them up all day. Like, it does not matter what day, what time. I'm on a plane, I'm in the car. Like, you'd be like, Tanisha, that's wrap snacks with Amigos on it. I didn't know who the Amigos were until I saw wrap snacks. That's how
I don't know what that is.
Like, it's addicting. It's like this cheddar ranch flavor, but it's amazing. But it's like my okay, I can give myself a little treat type thing. And that's like every blue moon, but they're so good. Wrap snacks. But sorry, getting off subject, guys. Getting off subject. But like, yes, like Laura said, like, and then people don't even know what kind of assets. Do people even know what an asset is? Do people even know what liabilities are? Do they know the difference between the two? Because there's a lot of us out here with car insurance and just liability, and still have no idea what the definition of the word is. So again, it's the education factor. It's you have to sit there and educate yourself. Like if you want to sit there and take the necessary steps, you're gonna have to learn. And just no offense to anything, but you just can't learn by watching the TV. You just can't learn sitting there and say, oh, well, Kim Kardashian did it. First of all, that's not the same. Not the same. We're not in the same boat at all. So let's move that along and focus on what you need to focus on, so little things like that. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Laura. I didn't mean to.
Oh, no. You, making some valid points here. And all I have to say to kind of like tie into that is it doesn't matter what age you start. Right, sing it, girl. Sing it out. I'm in my 30s. I came into this information a year ago, and there's no shame in my game. We definitely encourage you to act earlier when you're younger, but you don't know what you don't know, and it's okay. So like I said, I'm forever a student when it comes to gaining this information. And so at any age, right. 45, 50, 60, obviously the younger you are, most likely the better off you'll be when it comes to your protection piece. But there's no right or wrong time to get started. But as long as you act, you can hear the information. We can talk to you until we're blue in the face. We can talk to you until you're blue in the face. Exactly. But you have to act. Don't wait until you're in the hospital with a condition that is going to try to take you out of here. You know what I mean? Like, don't wait. Don't
never know. Thank you. Yeah. Laura. Like Laura's sitting in and Laura, you're a God-fearing woman. And I think that, with the love that you have in your heart and how you are so passionate about not only yourself and your beliefs, but you do believe in the fact that things are going to happen. There's no denying things are going to happen. Right. When we were 6 years old, we didn't know what it was going to be like to be an adult. No one actually gave us a book, was like, here you go. This is what you need to do. Here's a checklist. Do it. We had to figure it out on our own type thing. Some people thought it was like going to school and that was the best thing for them. Some people were like, nah, I can't go to school because it doesn't feel like it's the right fit for me. Some people were like, went to trade school, which by the way, high five for that. Some people were like, I don't know. It depends. You don't know what your destiny or what your path is going to be. But we all know the 4 things is going to happen, right? The responsibilities are going to come. You buy a house, that's a mortgage, right? Well, you're going to have some debt because if you did go to college or if you didn't go to college, you probably got a student loan because FAFSA form is probably like the most awkwardly retarded thing to fill out ever. Okay?
So complex for no reason.
It's crazy. If I ever I'll pull it up one day when we have a conversation about college coaching and education. But you know that if you have kids, well, you're gonna sit there and think what your kid might want to sit there and go to. Your kid might want to be like, hey, I want to go to Harvard. Hey, I might want to go to Howard. I might want to go to Tulane. I might want to go to Alabama, which we're hoping they don't. But they might go to Alabama. They might go to Florida State. They might go to FAM. We don't know, right? But do you have that backup there? So we already know that education, debt, children, and mortgage it's automatic. It's automatic. And even if you're like, I'm never having kids, you still got 3. You still got 3 things you got to think about. And even your own education, right? Like you said, student loans. I had them too. So
guess what? You always gonna pay taxes. Just saying.
Taxes are gonna be there forever. So taxes ain't going nowhere.
You
Just
always gonna have to pay something. There's always something in your pockets. Period. So the
I didn't know
sooner
who Benjamin Franklin really was. I know he was on $100 bill. That's cool. Supposedly he went outside with a kite and a key, and supposedly electricity happened. Not really sure if that's the actual story, but sure. Whatever they tell you in school, we don't know if that's actually the truth or not. This man could have probably just been like, "Oh, I saw somebody else do it. He wrote it down and said I done it myself." We don't know. I don't know. Okay, he wrote a
happens a
Constitution.
lot.
I'm still mad about the Constitution, but it's okay. I get it. But again, the one thing he did was actually stateful. That's truth. Taxes all throughout your life doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Sales tax, estate tax, inheritance tax. Like, what else you got? You got federal tax, state tax, local tax. Like, you have government tax. Whoa, what are y'all coming out? Wait, y'all come out the woodwork. So that means like you mean to tell me even if I die, I still owe you money? Bro, how about this? I never even met this dude named Uncle Sam. I don't even like him right now.
Right.
Like, where he come from? He hasn't been in that one reunion. I've never met him. I haven't seen that one Kwanzaa gift. I haven't seen that one birthday gift. I'm saying I haven't seen that one Huey P. Newton Day gift. I haven't seen that one Malcolm X Day gift. None. But this man is everywhere. Everywhere. And that and
property tax.
Tax advantages.
I think did you say that one? Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about some of those, the tax advantage accounts, because like I said, most people have a general knowledge. Even wealthy people, they put their money into some type of bank account. Right. So, I mean,
some diversify, some don't. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, but there's levels to this, guys. Don't get freaked out and think that you have to know everything right away. But we're just simply planting the seed and opening your eyes so that you're aware, like there's other things out there. So we talk about tax now, tax later, tax advantage. Let's break some of those down real quick, and then we'll kind of wrap up.
Okay, I can break it down to you kind of like this. That is not the button I need to sit there and hit. You would think I all of a sudden. All right, tax advantages. Tax now, tax later, tax advantage. Let's just tax now, and I'll kind of make it a little bit bigger so people can sit there and see, just in case people have hard. There you go. So best way I could describe it to you, and this is just my analogy. Okay, so everyone out there, like Laura said, we're not trying to give everybody advice. We just want you guys to be aware of the education that's out there and that we're trying to provide for you. Tax now is these accounts is checking, savings, CDs, stocks, and mutual funds, money market accounts, right? These accounts are when Uncle Sam is, so he's your friend, right? But he's like the bruv man in your life. Okay, so you put money into these accounts, your checkings account, your savings account, your CDs, whatever. Well, bruv man is gonna knock on the door later on that year, and he's gonna ask to borrow like some money. I'm sorry, let's take the word borrow out. He's gonna take some of that money.
He's gonna Debo it.
He's gonna Debo some of that money, right? So you're like, okay, but that's where you have to sit there at least have a checking or savings account, have something, so you have something that's like something liquefied, stuff that's easy access to you. So you know that like when bruh man's there for that year, okay, I can deal with that because you sit there and you're getting the right information and you're actually going to talk to a financial professional about the other two. So let's just say like tax later. Tax later is okay. Tax later is when bruh man, you guys been friends for a very long time. So you're like, you've been saving in this, you've been saving up in an account, and bruh man decides to be a partner to you. Like he becomes a business partner to you. You're like, okay, cool, we could do this, but he's gonna make you do all the work. He's gonna make sure that he pretty much could take 1/3 of it. And then you have certain disadvantages because you have a certain time period. So when you're 50, you can't touch it till you're 59 and a half. If you do touch it before, then he takes the third plus 10%. And then when you're when you take the RDMs out, or required minimum distributions, RMDs, sorry, not RDM, RMDs out. Guess what? He can tax it, or he could come back and he can ask for more money again. And then at that point in time, you don't even know what tax bracket you're actually into at that point. Your 401ks, your 403bs, you don't even know what tax brackets that you're going to end up being into 15, 20, 25 years later, because no one's thinking about the fact that the tax bracket could actually change, just like inflation could sit there and change. So now bruh man's going to sit there and knock on the door like, hey, Laura, well, my cut, bruh. And you'd be like, hold on, I did the work. I did this. This is what I'm doing. And he's still going to sit there and just be like, I'm not leaving here until I get paid. Okay, well, what else can we do? Well, let's talk about it. You have the tax advantage accounts. So tax advantage accounts, the word advantage is what you should really pay more attention to. It's the advantage part. So what's the advantage part? This means that bruh man can not knock on your door at all, because the money that you put into these accounts are actually post-tax. You've already paid taxes on them. So he's already got his share from your paycheck or whatever. He's already got his share. So when you're 15, 20 years down the road, and let's just say your tax bracket did go up and you're like, well, I put money into my tax advantage account, and bruh man's trying to knock on your door, but he don't know your address. That's pretty much how I can try to simplify it without going into like the actual, because I mean, I can spend like 15, 25 minutes just talking about this stuff. And like, we ain't got that type of time. So like, but that's pretty much like how you can sit there and think about it. So just think about bruh man bothering you on your tax now, tax deferred or tax later. He's going to bother you no matter what. And then if you think about a tax advantage account, bruh man, which is Uncle Sam, he's already taken his cut, because you remember, like, it's post-tax. So you're using
and he can't take it again.
And he
can take it multiple times in the other two brackets, and he can't take it but one time in the last bracket.
Yeah. So there's no knocking on the door. There's no borrowing. Like, hey, let me get my cut. Like, remember when you borrow this? There's no business partnership. There's no LLC. There's nothing. There's nothing
right.
There. It's just you.
Right.
So, and that's we do stress these things. We do talk about them a lot more in depth. We do talk about them when people do their personal financial strategy plans. Some, like, again, when they're doing their budget and they're like, I don't know what's going on, and you just need, like Laura said, you might need a little guidance. You might need a roadmap to help you get to where you want to get to, but you didn't know about these destinations, these tax advantage destinations. You didn't know about them. You didn't know like how an actual diverse portfolio actually looks like. I'm not sitting there saying that 401ks and 403bs and IRAs are bad. I'm just saying just know the rules of the game. If you don't know the rules, don't be shocked when you're like 52 years old thinking like, I can retire right now. Yay, that's my money and I want it now. Like, oh, that commercial is not really coming through at all. First of all, that's not how that works. So I'm glad that, everyone's just on here. And again, why Mommies and Money, Fathers of Finance, Singles and Sort. These are just conversations we have. We talk about. Our community is our community. Like, I have nothing but love for my people, but we need to fix some things. We need to get some things in order. And however you do that, we're here to help you. No matter what, we are all brothers and sisters, and we all need to help each other and lift each other up instead of bring each other down. So if you don't know this knowledge and you'd like to know more, Laura done gave you the email earlier, and I'll put it in the comment section. Once the live is over, it's not a problem. Just reach out and touch somebody.
Yes. That was brilliant. I love seeing that information because it's just a beacon of hope, progress, growth. It's all of those things because, like I said, most people have a general knowledge, but there's so much more to it. It's so vast and it can be complicated and complex, but that is what we're here for. That is why we have this platform, and we want to help you. We want you to do better, be better, and then show someone else how to do the exact same thing. Whoa, so again, exactly, duplication. Change the narrative. Change like what we talk about all the time. That paradigm shift, right? We want to step into something not necessarily new, but it's new to us. And so we want to change your narrative. We want to change that story. I hate seeing just poverty being perpetuated, being taught. And then we're also not being just taught, but we're learning by what we see. So, I mean, we're following bad examples. It's like the blind leading the blind. But come to the light, open your eyes, because that's what we're here for.
Just give me the light. Just give me the light.
You full of songs today.
Yeah, I know. I need to
You
stop.
got a song for every
I got a
single
song
thing.
for everything. Like I got.
That's usually me. But yes, as we wrap up though, I just want to say thank you everybody for watching. Again, click and like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, come back and see us not next week, but the following week.
Well, I don't know. Hold on, because next week I might have, because I know Laura has a prior engagement. Okay. She has a prior engagement with her loved one, with her husband. Okay, with her husband. So, which is very much a lot of happens. So, hashtag Black Love all day. But I might be having a special guest on for next week to sit there. Yep, I might be having a special guest on. So, you may not see Miss Laura, but I would definitely be representing for her and having a great conversation. Hopefully, she won't go into labor, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's not Isaac. Oh, and by the way, everybody out there, our big brother Isaac is about to be a papa. We don't know when he's gonna be a papa. We still waiting on the baby.
Oh, the baby's not here yet.
Not here yet, but we know just keep the positive affirmations coming, and we just want to make sure we're just putting good things out there for him. But he is super excited, and I mean, literally, we're excited. Pins and needles. We're like really just waiting. So, big brother Isaac, big shout out to you. And we know that baby girl part 2 is coming, and we're excited for you. So you guys, big things are just gonna happen in 2021, like Laura said. It's the time to just take some action, because some of y'all stimulus checks are about to be gone. Actually,
she's a mess with these stimulus checks. All right, so as we wrap up again, thank you all. We like to do our Black History Fun Fact. So the spotlight today is going to go to. Let me pull up my picture, y'all. I'll be right back.
So while she's doing that, I'm just go ahead and be like, Black History Fun Fact. We get it in.
I like the theme song.
All day, every day, all day, every day, all day. Black history, Black history, Black history. You mix. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Here she is, Dr. Shirley Jackson. Dr. Shirley Jackson is the one responsible for the caller ID and call waiting from MIT. So if I pull up some stuff on her, here's some fun facts about her. She is currently the president of the prestigious, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce this, Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, which is it's a private college, and she's the highest paid president of this private college. She is a theoretical physicist and held senior leadership positions in academia, government, industry, and research. She has a BS in physics and a PhD in theoretical elementary particle physics, both from MIT. I mean, this lady's
yes.
I mean, she came through.
She came through when you can't be touched. Can't stop.
So she is the first African-American woman to receive a doctorate from MIT and the first African-American woman to serve as president at a top-ranked research university. Her invention of the technology responsible for caller ID, call waiting, stems from days at AT&T Bell Labs, where she conducted research in theoretical physics, solid state, and quantum physics and optical physics. I mean, okay, first of all, that was a mouthful. Second of all, that is such a major accomplishment. This lady is so brilliant. I'm just blown away by her. She has been awarded 53 honorary doctorate degrees. And she was awarded the National Medal of Science. The nation's
How many doctorate degrees?
53 honorary doctorate degrees. Doctoral degrees.
Doctoral degrees. Okay.
She was awarded.
She's 53 more than me, so.
Okay, exactly. She was awarded the National Medal of Science, the nation's highest honor for contributions in science and engineering by President Obama in 2015. So whew, I'm exhausted by just running off her list of accomplishments because this Dr. Shirley Jackson is amazing. So congratulations to Dr. Shirley Jackson. And isn't that awesome? Call waiting.
Dr. Shirley Jackson, we salute you. Yeah, first of all,
I mean, that's basically
everyone needs to sit there and thank her because no one picks up their phone because of her.
Exactly.
So
I mean, it's what we have in our phones right now. That number comes up, that's her.
That's her. She did that.
When you screening calls and you decide to ignore.
Up to degrees. You know what? Go ahead.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Miss Shirley. Miss Shirley, if I ever have the chance to meet you, and by the grace, if the creator actually gives me that chance, I would love to shake your hand, ma'am, because that is an amazing mind that you have.
Exactly. Blown away.
And she's still alive, correct?
I believe so. It doesn't say. I'm
gonna need you to fact check that real quick for.
I might have to do that. Like I said, it was kind of difficult pulling up like personal information as far as like where she grew up and all of that. But I'm gonna find it, and we might have to bring her back for another spotlight because, like I said, her accolades are just off the chain. So we'll fact check and we'll bring her back another day.
Please do. Let's do that because that's really, really, really amazing. That I knew she evaded the Carl ID. I just didn't know about the MIT. I did not know about the doctor. I did not know about the doctoral degree degrees. She just took the words right out of my mouth. I don't even know what to sit there and say.
I know.
I'm so
awesome.
happy to be a Black woman right now.
I know. I mean, and that's why we have this platform. That's why we do this. And we highlight people who have achieved major things that we utilize today that we wouldn't have without them. So it's just awesome. So as we wrap up, it has been an awesome session. I hope you all have learned some things. Please reach out to us. We want to hear from you. And we look forward to seeing you back.
And like I said, Laura will be gone next week, but Laura, I have some fun things coming for us.
Yay.
And I know we have a lot of things happening, but some fun things are brewing. So we're gonna have some really good Mommies and Money conversations coming up, and we're gonna sit there and really just get on top of this whole let's really uplift our community and empower our community and actually do it right and do it with pride. So I'm super excited, guys. Thank you for joining us for this evening. Once again, I'm Tanisha Steiger.
I'm Laura Whedon.
That's Laura Whedon. Yes. The greatness. That's L Dubs. You know what I'm saying? So she got that. I am a mess. But I'm fun. But at the same time, we're going to sit there and have you guys have a good night. For everybody who celebrates America's birthday. There you go. And we look forward to seeing you again with we'll have another fun-filled Black History fact, and I'll find it this time because Laura won't be here next Friday or next Thursday. So,
but I'll be
she'll be
sure to watch it back. That's for sure. I'll be supporting. I'll be here in spirit.
That's what sisters do. Okay, that's what we do. Yeah, grab some air and let them know. Grab some air and let them know. Okay. Have a good night, guys.
All right.